Yo, hey, how's it going? My name is Alante. I go by the nickname Tay, but you can call me Alante if that's okay with you or not. If you're not comfortable with saying Alante, you could just say Tay because I usually go by that name anyway. But anyway, without further ado, I'm here to tell you guys about 10 facts or maybe more. Actually, let's do 20 facts about the Nelson. What I meant to say was the Mandela effect. And in case you're wondering what Mandela effect is, I'm going to tell you what it is right now. The Mandela effect is an unusual phenomenon where a large group of people remember something differently than how occurred. Conspiracy theories believe this is proof of an alternative universe, while many doctors use it as an illustration of how imperfect memory can be sometimes. First Mandela effect is Curious George. Yes, I'm talking about the TV show Curious George. Now, as we may know, we probably used to think that Curious George used to have a tail, correct? Maybe we seen them have a tail in the books, or maybe we probably didn't see him have a tail. Well, turns out, truth to be told, he doesn't have a tail. Why? Because in reality, the people that made the show, they never just had a tail for the monkey, even though a monkey does have a tail. But in the show, he doesn't have a tail at all. I hope that one blew your mind. Now we're going to go to the next one. Some people may know that Jif is one of the best peanut butter in the world, or maybe it's not. Maybe it might be other type of peanut butters that's good in the world. But if you're familiar with the peanut butter Jif that you see in stores, it is not Jiffy. If some people thought that Jif was Jiffy, it is not Jiffy. It is Jif. You might have seen this or heard somebody say, "Hey, yo, you ever heard of Jiffy before? Jiffy's peanut butter," and you'd be like, "Jiffy," and you just think about it. You'd be like, "No, there's no such thing as Jiffy, because there's only one thing, a peanut butter, and that's Jif, and it's not Jiffy." All right, this third one is a most popular one that don't nobody really know about. I'm not sure if it's only me that I don't know about, or some people don't know about Oscar Mayer. Now, turns out that Oscar Mayer is not spelled M-E-Y-E-R. It's actually spelled M-A-Y-E-R. Why? For the fact, because one of the most confounding of all, there was always an A in Meyer. And honest to goodness, we thought it was Meyer with an E, and turns out it's with an A. Next one, Skechers. Now, when you think of the word Skechers, I know you'll probably go back to memory kid lane when you used to get Skechers from your mom or your dad, and you used to seeing Skechers spelled out Sketchers, or you thought that it was spelled like that, but in reality, Skechers was never spelled like that, or it was never pronounced like that at all. Skechers was always spelled Skechers. Now, I don't know if it's me, or maybe it's because I fell off on my spelling or not. Maybe I fell off on my spelling or something that I don't know that Skechers was really spelled like that. Or maybe it's just because we used to hearing, just stuff like Captain Crunch, but it's not actually Captain Crunch. It is Cap in Crunch. Fruit Loops. Now, everybody likes Fruit Loops. Everybody's favorite number one breakfast in the day is eating cereal or either eating something else. And what's the best cereal you can eat? Let's say probably Fruit Loops, Fruity Pebbles, Apple Jacks, and more, and etc., including Frosted Flakes. Now, I know you thinking, as in Alante, what does this have to do with a Mandela effect? Now that you said that, you used to seeing Fruit Loops probably spelled Fruit, or did you think it was spelled Fruit? In reality, it was never spelled Fruit Loops, as in like a fruit that you eat, like an apple or a pear. It was always spelled with two O's. Why was it spelled with two O's? If I'm being honest, I absolutely have no idea why it was spelled with two O's. Like, why would they have that spelled with two O's? Like, you could just put Fruit instead of putting just Fruit Loops. Like, cause if you put Fruit Loops, then it's like a loop that goes around. No, that was corny. No. Now, this other one, some people may not know if you watch Pokemon. Some people don't know. Pokemon was one of their favorite shows that people like watching when they was a little kid. I don't know about you now if you like it still, but I know that I never really watched the Pokemon like that, or I never even really had the intentions to watch Pokemon. But as I found this on TikTok, people would say that if you saw Pikachu and his tail was never black and yellow. It was always yellow. Now, for a fact, this was never really shocking to me. I knew that Pikachu's tail was always yellow, because why would it be yellow and black? I think the only time Pikachu's tail will only be yellow and black if he turned into his final form, or I think it was another Pokemon that was similar to Pikachu and his tail was black and yellow. So people always took the mistake for Pikachu to have a black and yellow tail, but in reality, he always had a yellow tail. Another one. Now, people like to eat snacks. I know I like to eat snacks. Do you like to eat snacks? The next one I'll say is Kit Kat. Now, what does this have to do with the Mandela effect? That's a good question. Now, if you always notice that if you look at a Kit Kat before you eat it, you always see it has a hyphen in the middle. Well, it turns out to be what you were saying was not real, because there was never a hyphen in the middle of the Kit Kat. Like literally in the middle of the words Kit Kat, there was never a hyphen at all. So what you were saying, it was just an illusion. Next one, Fruit of the Loom, or Fruit Loom, or whatever you want to call it. I don't care what you want to call it. But if you always notice in the Fruit of the Loom, in the logo, you'll always see a cornucopia. If I'm saying it right or I'm saying it wrong, I don't know if I'm saying it right or wrong, but you'll probably always see a cornucopia in the back of the Fruit of the Loom logo, where the front of the fruit will be and the cornucopia will be in the back to sprinkle up the logo a little bit. But was that always there? No, absolutely not. People will always think there would be a cornucopia in the back of the Fruit of the Loom logo, but it turns out to be there never was one. Next one, Cheez-It or Cheez-Its, or is it Cheez-It or Cheez-Its? Now, let's take a look. It was never a Z in Cheez-Its. It was always a T, because it was always Cheez-It. But turns out we always was used to saying Cheez-Its instead of Cheez-It. Or did we used to say Cheez-Its? Are we used to saying Cheez-It, or we used to saying Cheez-Its? See, this is the things that have you think on stuff that you look back on and you thought that was right. Alright, two more, and then gotta get to the editing and stuff, because this is gonna take a long time. But hey, it'll be worth it, because I love doing editing and stuff. And I'm about to start sweating in a minute, because man, it's a lot hot. But I'm gonna do two more, and these are actually movie references. Now, actually, I'll do three more. You know what? Just to give you a little extra bonus, so you won't even have to be like, oh, Alante, you bogus. You don't want to give us three, you want to give us two. Well, now you're going to have three more facts about the Nelson Mandela effect. First final one will be E.T. Now, as us being a little kid, when we was a little kid back then, we used to watch E.T. And E.T., of course, stands for extraterrestrial or internal terrestrial, however you want to say it. We was used to saying, or used to hearing E.T. say, E.T. phone home, with his hand raised like this, with his finger point like this, E.T. phone home. Well, turns out he never said E.T. phone home. He does say E.T. phone home, but the first word he says, he doesn't say E.T. phone home. The actual first words he say is E.T. home phone.
E.T. home phone.
Second final one I have to say is Star Wars. Now, for me, watching Star Wars, I rarely watch Star Wars. The only Star Wars I probably only saw was the first Star Wars that came out, and I don't even know what the first Star Wars was, or I don't even know if I watched the first Star Wars. Maybe I seen 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, because there's so many Star Wars like movies, and there's so many sagas, and there's so many reboots and stuff like that. But anyways, if you know that gold robot in Star Wars, the one who was always hanging out with RGB2, now for a fact that you didn't know, the gold robot is not all the way gold. If you look at one thing that I'm gonna put right now on the side, he's not all the way gold. On his right side of his leg, or left, I think it's right because it looked like it's right from the side where I'm at, or maybe it's the left. But anyways, on his leg is not all the way gold. It is silver. Now, is he considered all the way gold? No. That's one thing we never paid attention to because we was always looking into something else in the scene instead of us looking into some more detail. Third final one is Jaws. Yes, Jaws. The Jaws that go da-na, 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 da-na. Yep, that one, Jaws. Now, in the beginning of the movie, or I think middle, or maybe end, I don't know. I think in the beginning, when the fisherman is throwing food in the water, he sees a shark that obviously scares him, and he looks so shocked. He looks like this, like in a close range. And the first thing he say is, when he's smoking his cigarette, he takes out his cigarette. He says, "You're going to need a bigger boat." Now, am I tripping? No, absolutely not. I thought I was too for a minute, but when I did my research yesterday and I figured this out, I was not tripping at all. He actually says, "You're going to need a bigger boat." And after all these years, we thought he was saying, "We're going to need a bigger boat." In reality, he never said, "We're going to need a bigger boat." He was always saying, "You're going to need a bigger boat."
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Alright, and then that's the end of the video. This is my Mandela effects, that I found out, that I searched up. I hope some of the stuff that I was saying made sense and stuff like that. I hope everything goes out peaches and cream. If you have any questions with the stuff that I said, let me know. But that's the Mandela effects. I hope I surprised you. I hope I kind of shocked you a little bit. I hope I made you look like, what? I know he lying. And no, I'm not lying. Anyway, that's the end of the video. If you like this, make sure you like, you subscribe, and you share it to your friends and your family as well. Anyway, without further ado, I'll see you guys later. Take Tizu is out.